Libra, let us talk about the second half of November 2025 and what it is rearranging in your heart, your relationships, and your sense of balance. If you have Libra as your sun, sign your moon, your rising, or your Venus, this message is for you. The first part of this month may have felt like a long negotiation. Maybe you were trying to keep peace between people with different needs. Maybe you were weighing options and could see both sides so clearly that it became hard to make a move. You might have felt stretched between what you wanted and what others seemed to expect from you. On the surface, you may have stayed polite and gracious. Underneath, you might have felt tired, confused, or quietly frustrated. Now, as we move into mid month, the universe begins to ask you a very simple but powerful question. What would balance look like if you started including yourself in the equation, not as an afterthought, not as the one who adjusts to make everyone else comfortable, as an equal? The second half of November is not about you abandoning your natural gift for harmony. It is about finally letting that harmony include your own needs, your own truth, and your own timing. You have a beautiful ability to see the good in people, to understand different perspectives, and to soften sharp edges in conversations. People are often drawn to you for that kindness, yet that same gift can sometimes become a trap when you use it only to keep others calm and never to honor your own inner voice. Mid November invites you to notice where that has been happening and to gently change the pattern. In love and close relationships, this energy is especially strong. If you are in a partnership, you may have already felt that certain topics kept hovering in the background without really being resolved. Maybe questions around commitment, around shared responsibilities, around money or future plans. Perhaps you have gone along with what your partner wanted in order to avoid conflict. Perhaps you have kept your opinions soft to avoid being seen as difficult. The second half of November brings these themes up again, but this time with a stronger push toward clarity. You might feel a growing urge to speak more directly, to say, I need this, rather than hinting. To say, I am not comfortable with that, instead of smiling through it. At first, it might feel risky. Libra energy often wants everyone to feel good. Yet you are realizing that pretending does not create real peace. It creates a fragile surface that constantly needs smoothing. When you speak from your heart with honesty and respect, you may be surprised at what happens. Often the ground becomes stronger, not weaker. This period can deepen your relationship if both of you are willing to meet each other halfway. You may have important conversations about how to share power decisions and emotional labor more fairly, about how each of you gives and receives love, about what you both want the next few years to look like. Even if it is uncomfortable at first, these talks can move you out of limbo and into a more conscious partnership. For some Libra people, this time can also highlight where a relationship has become lopsided. Maybe you realize you are doing most of the emotional work. You initiate the hard talks. You smooth over arguments. You explain feelings and repair misunderstandings while the other person avoids or shuts down. Or you may see that someone loves the version of you who is always agreeable but pulls away when you show your full truth. If this is the case, mid-November may bring a moment of decision. Do you keep bending to fit, or do you choose the path that allows you to stand upright? And if you are single, the second half of November asks you to look closely at your patterns in love. Libra energy often longs for partnership. You are happiest when you can share your experiences with someone you trust. But that desire can sometimes lead you to stay too long in half-available situations. People who send mixed signals. People who want the comfort of your presence without offering real commitment. People who adore your charm in public, yet disappear in private. This is the time to raise your standards, not in a harsh way, but in a quietly firm way. You are being invited to honor the value of your attention, your listening ear, your ability to encourage and uplift. These are not free resources. The next chapter of your love story wants to involve someone who meets you with equal respect, someone who remembers that you have needs and dreams too. Someone who does not just want a pretty picture of a relationship, but is willing to show up on messy days. You might start by simply noticing how you feel after interactions. Do you feel valued or drained? Clear or confused? Seen or invisible? Your body and emotions will tell you the truth long before the mind rationalizes anything. With that information, you can slowly adjust how much access each person has to you. You do not need to make any dramatic announcements. Quiet choices are enough. Family and friendships are also part of this story. Libra often plays peacekeeper in social circles. You might be the one people confide in when they are upset with each other, the one who smooths things over, the one who hosts the gatherings and keeps the atmosphere pleasant. Mid-November asks you to notice when this role supports you and when it exhausts you. You may realize that you have been taking responsibility for conflicts that are not actually yours to solve. You may feel stuck in the middle between relatives or friends who could resolve things themselves if they tried. You may have become the emotional bridge, and that bridge feels worn down. It is okay to step back. You can still be kind without being the go-between. Every time you can say, I care about both of you, but I cannot be in the middle. That is not disloyal. It is healthy. Now let us turn to your work path and how you move through the world. The second half of November shines a light on decisions around career direction roles and how you spend your days. In the first part of the month, you may have felt pulled in different directions. Part of you wants stability. Part of you wants creative freedom. Part of you wants to keep everyone happy at work. Part of you feels a quiet dissatisfaction that is hard to voice. Mid-month is about naming that dissatisfaction without judging it. Maybe you are in a job that looks good on paper, but leaves you feeling empty. Maybe you love the work itself, but the environment is draining. Perhaps you are underpaid for the level of effort and care you bring. Or maybe you are juggling too many small tasks and rarely get time for the deeper work that would truly satisfy you. You are encouraged now to step back and view the bigger picture. Ask yourself, if I keep living and working this way for the next year or two, how will I feel? Calm, proud, resentful, bored, stuck. Your honest answer gives you clues. This does not mean you must suddenly quit or overhaul everything. It may simply mean beginning to negotiate for what you need. That could be clearer boundaries around your time, a different balance of responsibilities, a conversation about compensation, or if the environment is completely misaligned, it could mean planning a new path gradually. Libra has strong gifts in diplomacy, design, counseling, justice-oriented work, art, law, and any field that requires listening and balanced perspective. The second half of November supports reconnecting with these strengths. You may feel drawn to a project where you can mediate, communicate, or beautify, or you might begin exploring training and education in a direction that has always quietly called to you. Small steps matter here. Updating a resume, reaching out to a contact, researching programs or roles. Even writing down your true career wishes is a form of magic. Financially, this period asks you to check whether your relationship with money is balanced. Libra sometimes struggles with extremes, spending to create a feeling of beauty or to maintain a social life, even when it strains the budget, or avoiding money conversations because they feel awkward. Mid-November is a good time to bring more fairness into how you handle finances. Fairness toward yourself. That might mean having honest discussions about shared expenses, looking at where money flows in and out, making one or two conscious adjustments that support your future instead of just your present mood. Underneath all of this, the deeper work of this period is about reclaiming your inner center. Libra is symbolized by scales for a reason. You are constantly taking in information from others and weighing it, opinions, expectations, emotional cues. You have a natural gift for reading the room and adapting. Yet you are not meant to become the room. You are meant to stand in the center with your own inner scale and decide what feels right to you. Mid-November may bring situations where you cannot keep everyone happy no matter how carefully you choose. Two people you love may want different things. A decision at work might benefit one side and disappoint another. You might have to choose between your own need for rest and someone else's request for help. When this happens, you are being gently trained for a higher level of balance. You are learning that true fairness is not the same as self-erasure. Emotionally, you may notice old patterns surfacing, memories of times when you tried to speak up and were criticized for being selfish, or when you chose yourself and someone withdrew their affection. Those experiences may have taught you to avoid conflict at almost any cost. Now you are ready to heal that pattern, to understand that some conflict is a natural part of honest relationships, that people who love you in a healthy way can tolerate your no as well as your yes. This is a wonderful time to practice small acts of self-honoring, saying, I need some time to think before agreeing to something, choosing how you spend an evening based on what you truly want instead of what you feel you should want, allowing yourself to rest without guilt. These are all ways of strengthening your inner center. Your intuition is also becoming clearer. Libra intuition often shows up through a felt sense of harmony or disharmony. A situation may look fine on the surface, but feel off in a subtle way, or something might seem risky, yet bring a deep sense of rightness when you imagine it. Pay attention to these sensations. You do not have to justify them immediately with logic. Over time, you will see that listening to this inner sense saves you from many imbalanced agreements. Spiritually, the second half of November encourages you to create a space where you can come back to yourself regularly. That might be a real corner of your home with a candle, a plant, a few objects that feel beautiful and calming, or it might be a simple ritual, such as making tea and sitting in silence for a few minutes each day. Writing down your feelings without editing, pulling a tarot card, or using a divination tool for reflection. Breathing with one hand on your heart and one on your belly until you feel your body soften. In those moments, ask yourself questions such as, what do I truly want in this situation? Where have I been saying yes when my inner voice is saying no? What would balance feel like if I trusted myself? You do not need to figure out everything at once, but giving your own answers space to appear is a powerful shift. As November moves toward its closing days, you may begin to notice changes in how you relate to others and to yourself. You might not respond as quickly to every message that arrives. You might take that extra beat to check in with your own feelings before agreeing to plans. You might express a preference more openly instead of saying, I do not mind every time. These shifts may seem small, yet they are profound. They signal that you are no longer placing your own needs at the very end of the list. In relationships, you may feel more at ease as you share your real thoughts. Some dynamics may adjust. Certain people may step up in response to your clarity. Others may fall away if they were only comfortable when you overgave. Trust that this process is creating space for more aligned connections. In work and projects, you may find yourself choosing fewer obligations, but giving them higher quality energy. This makes your contributions more impactful and less draining. Remember that this Libra mid-month message is only one layer of your full chart. To understand the whole picture of how November is moving through your life, listen also to the readings for your sun, your moon, your rising, and your Venus signs. Your rising sign often describes the outer kinds of events and themes that show up around you. Your moon sign reveals how all of this feels emotionally and what you need to feel safe. Your sun sign speaks to your core identity and the areas where you are meant to grow. Your Venus sign shows how love, relationships, beauty, and money are flowing and changing for you. Together, these messages create a more complete map. You can also listen to the signs of the people who matter to you: your partner, your crush, your friends, your family, your children, even your coworkers. Understanding the energies they are walking through can change the way you interpret their behavior. Instead of taking everything personally, you can see that they are dealing with their own lessons and pressures. That empathy helps you stay balanced while still honoring your boundaries. When you are ready to go beyond general horoscopes and into more personal guidance, visit MysticBolt.com. There, you will find tarot card spreads designed to help you with choices in love, career, money, and life path. You will find astrology tools that let you explore your birth chart and current energies in more depth. You will discover a growing collection of spiritual and divination apps created to support you through the kind of turning point you are in right now. For now, Libra, take a breath and let this truth settle into you. You are not put here only to keep everyone else comfortable. You are here to experience real connection, real beauty, and real balance, including for yourself. The second half of November is your invitation to step into relationships and choices where your heart, your needs, and your voice all count. When you choose that kind of balance, the scales in your life begin to move in your favor.